And while the insurrectionists failed in their attempt to stop the democratic process, there are concerns that next time could be different.
A group of retired generals says they are concerned we could once again see political violence following the 2024 election. And the perpetrators could be members of America's military. CNN's Pamela Brown sat down with one of them.
3 retired military generals have authored an op-ed in the Washington Post saying they are growing more and more worried about the potential for political violence in the military. One part really stands out. Quote, as we approach the first anniversary of the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, we, all of us former senior military officials, are increasingly concerned about the aftermath of the 2024 presidential election and the potential for lethal chaos inside our military, which would put all Americans at severe risk. In short, we are chilled to our bones at the thought of a coup succeeding next time. I'm joined now by one of the authors of that op-ed, retired Army Brigadier General Stephen M. Anderson. General, thank you for joining us tonight. This is a big step for you and 2 colleagues to speak out like this. What motivated you all to write this column now?
Well, thank you, Pamela, for having us on. Yes, it's very difficult for me to talk like this. I mean, I was raised 31 years in the Army to be apolitical, to not pick sides, and I've never been active politically. But the events of the last couple of years, in particular the 6th of January, has changed my mind considerably. We can no longer afford to be apolitical. I mean, I was a conservative Republican my entire political life. I voted as such, but never was active until 2016 when things changed and Trump got hold of the Republican Party. And now it's completely lost itself. It's lost its way. It's overwhelmed with cowardice. But 43 years ago, I took an oath to the country that I would support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And my co-authors and I and Vote Vets organization we worked with closely we're tremendously concerned about the threat internally, the threat domestically, within the military in particular. And so we need to start taking actions now to prevent for the eventuality in 2024 that Trump will try to do the same things he did in 2020, of which he got incredibly close. We're just trying to write an article that highlights our view that democracy at risk. We love our country, and we need to take actions now to mitigate that risk.
Why are you so concerned about what's going on within the military in particular?
Well, if you look at the extremism that has gone on within the military, you look at those that were active in the actual assault on the Capitol, over 10% had a military background. And we all saw the pictures of the guys with the zip ties and the helmets and and marching in formations into that throng. There's a threat within. We've got some people that just haven't been educated. They haven't been found out, and they've grown empowered through perhaps inaction on the parts of some of our key leaders. And we need to do what we can do now to identify those people, get them out of our ranks, and train the rest of the force on Civics 101 about how our country is supposed to work, how elections work. Stop listening to the pillow guy and start learning about our country and how it's actually supposed to run.
Really quickly, just walk us through your concern about this partisan divide and how it could impact the chain of command and why that is so concerning to you in terms of preventing another coup attempt potentially in 2024.
Well, the big problem here is allegiance to the Constitution versus allegiance to a leader, or in this case, a cult-like figure like Trump. There's a lot of people in uniform that are confused about that. They think the president is something like a king, and it's not. We swore an oath to the Constitution. That's how our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines need to act. And, we're concerned that there's so much activity within the military that shows that people are ignorant of what our Constitution is really all about. And they have responded to people like Trump. And when he tells them to jump, they're probably willing to do that.
All right. That is just chilling, bone chilling, as you say in the op-ed. Brigadier General Stephen Anderson, thank you.
Thank you.
Stop listening to the pillow guy. Always good advice. Still ahead, the up-and-coming singer-songwriter using her voice to